last December, and with the purpose of popularizing El cart. This is primarily lesser known art and architecturally rich temples in Tamil Nadu, which we wanted to showcase so that the traffic which is coming in terms of the iconic temples, they also get converted into visiting these temples and do it in a more comfortable way. So we are going to the second in series of the temples, and let us share this. This is going to take around 1 hour plus, and let me share the presentation to you. So this is about Vaikuntha Perumal temple, the apartment of gods. You are thinking that you are in advanced society and in 20th century you started living in a structure where you have multiple stories and each story each family lives. But gods lived in apartments even in 7th, 8th centuries. This is one of the first temples where in a sanctum within the Vimana, three avatars or three versions of Vishnu, sitting, standing, and sleeping versions of Vishnu. Three things are enshrined in the three different tiers. This is one of the unique temples which you are going to see. So when you talk about this, we are going to cover what is Tamil Nadu's art and architecture, and then where it is seeing, and then focusing on one temple at a time. So last week we covered Atmanatha temple, Avudiyar, and then this week we are going to cover Vaikuntha Perumal temple. So as usual, I want to give credit to Google Andavar and Wikipedia Pujari who helped me in searching and giving information. More than that, beautiful links. The second component is references, friends like Sridharan and the others who were really good inspirations behind us in documenting this temple and others on this. So, what is the need for Elcott? Tamil Nadu is known as a temple state. Okay, it has got the tallest Kopuram, tallest Vimanas, largest temples, many 44,000 temples, and one each per square kilometer, and one person or one per 1,600 people count. So you have an apartment house of around 400 houses, average of four people. That apartment house itself accounts for a temple. That is the density of temples. But still, the tourist flow is predominantly on the iconic temples and the religious temples rather than on the other temples. This is not spread all over the way. Even the UNESCO temples don't get that kind of visibility like our Tirupati, our Tirutani and Tiruchendur kind of Muttai temples. Lesser known, so, but equally lesser known art and architectural rich temples are available, and they are slowly getting dilapidated due to disuse, and not many people are coming in. So the objective what we are doing is to identify and group the L cards around the key iconic temples, and then we are focusing on highlighting these L cards to the guides, operators, and travelers so that whenever they visit an icon, they also visit several L cards around the same location in an easy way. The advantage of this option is that the tourist gets fantastic, relaxed atmosphere and enjoy art and architecture without any queue, crowd, and interference. Imagine you can't do this in Madurai Meenakshi Temple or Nellapur temple, and there is always pressure for not taking photographs and then restrictions, queues, and other things. In some of the big temples like Kanchipuram and other things, Tirunamalai, you can't go to all the parts. The queue is there, and then you need to go by the queue and come out. So this is where L cards offer different features. L cards also gives more footfalls and revenue to sustain and improve the festivals and then rituals. So that is another benefit for the L card. So they are able to do self-sustenance and then they are able to handle it in a better way. The advantage for the local people is that they get more revenue and then they get more infrastructure so that overall they are able to provide the tourist a better atmosphere. So this is the purpose of pushing on highlighting the hill cards. Now, if you see these hill cards, we have identified lot and then we are covering one by one. In Chennai, Tenagurisharar, Kanchipuram, Kailasanatha and Vaikuntha Perumal, we are going to cover Vaikuntha Perumal because Kanchinatha, Kailasanatha is far more better covered. திருவண்ணாமலை தேவிகாபுரம் திருக்கோயிலூர் சிதம்பரம் மேலக்கடம்பூர் கும்பகோணம் துக்காட்சி திருப்புவனம் like that many are there and then we covered in the first one in Madurai Avadiyar Kovil Rameswaram Uttarasamangai Tiruppuram there are many so we are trying to cover one temple a month or probably down the line if it is popular and more coverage more request is coming we may cover two temples in a month so that you have a complete structure and detail on all these temples. So now the challenge is how to increase the footfall to the lesser known gems for better revenue. This is in your hands. The guides, the tourist operators, the heritage evangelists, the ordinary tourists who are listening to this. Next time, when you visit an icon temple, you also visit these lesser known temples so that you enjoy and you also recommend to others. Now, normally when you go to an iconic temple and other things in Tamil Nadu and other things, mostly this is for a view where you saw the religious and ceremonial view. Most of the thing for completing a particular vow or having said that, have you seen Meenakshi? It's like Taj Mahal. Anybody coming to India, the first question, have you seen Taj Mahal? Anybody coming to Tamil Nadu, have you visited Meenakshi temple? So they said that, hey, I have visited Meenakshi temple, Meenakshi temple, Meenakshi temple, and then they take one photo outside Meenakshi temple. That's it. Inside, you can't take any photos. But the focus is more on the religious vow and say that, and now God has become a give and take. So if I go to the temple, do some donation, I get some benefits. Nowadays, we get lot of high service and specific service temples. For passport, there is a separate temple, litigation separate temple, bad debts separate temple, and then Sunday evening, Ragala Puja, there is a Pratingara to avoid all this. So God is now becoming very, very focused to service. So people are focusing more on the service part. How do we take them and then see the other view? The art and architectural view. This is where the tourists and then particularly the foreigners and others are interested in whom bring higher and dollar revenue. So in LCAT, we are going to see both the views, the traditional religious view also, and focus little more on the art and architectural view. In the traditional view, we are going to view primary deities, what are the parivara devatas, the traditional stuff, Puranic stories, Sthala Puranas, special rituals, local festivals, and hymns and song. In addition, we are going to go little more deeper into who are the kings who involved in it, what is the history behind it, what kind of gopuras, mandapas, or vimanas that comprises in it, which is having some unique features. Also, the fantastic sculptures, stories available in that, if there are some paintings and then inscriptions. So this is the format We forwarded in the last one. This is the format in which we are going to analyze around 20 to 30 Yelka temples in the next 1 year. So that now you have a standard view and you are able to compare and contrast multiple temples. So, where is this temple? This temple is in Kanchipuram. When you talk about Kanchipuram, it is in the center of Kanchipuram. How far it is? From Tirutani, 47 kilometers, because this is one of the famous Murugan temples, which is one of the top 10 revenue earners in Tamil Nadu. And Vellore Golden Temple, the latest concrete wonder. The other thing, Tiruvannamalai, the perennial iconic temple, 119 kilometers. You talk about Pondicherry, the leisure and other resorts, it is hardly 100 kilometers. And Chennai, 72 kilometers only. We can just go in and come back and cover so many temples. From Kanchipuram, from Mahabalipuram, the fantastic sculptural and architectural university, it is hardly 67 kilometers, 1.5 hours. So, 6 major temples you can reach around 1.5 hours to 2 hours maximum. The next, people come to Kanchipuram, heavy crowd is there. The bus stand is somewhere over here. The railway station is over here. Okay, this much. But still, the people who come to Kanchipuram, the first beeline is Kanchi Kamakshi Amman temple. That is the first priority, the most religious, popular temple, and Yegambareswara temple. Okay, the consort, and the related Kanchipuram Kamakoti Mat. So this is Narvale Shaivas, they cover it. Rarely some people visit Kailasanatha, which is a beautiful, fantastic architectural wonder for Shaivas. Nobody goes there. It is in a slightly remote place, but still nobody goes there. Very, very rare. Again, take Vaishnavas. Their primary visit is the temple, the Varadaraja Perumal temple, and this area is called Vishnu Kanchi, where there are n number of temples. Around 14 Divya Desams are there in Kanchipuram itself. And this is one of the primary areas. But many, they don't visit the Vaikuntha Perumal temple, which is also one of the 108 Divya Desams. So there are two great omissions, two great Elka temples in Kanchipuram, who are fantastic. They are the first, they cannot be replicated in architecture or sculptures. Still, nobody visits it, and slowly they are decaying. Slowly they are decaying. This is our job to understand and then bring them up to more popularity. In terms of city, this is bang next to railway station. This side is railway station, this side is main bus stand, and then that side is the main railway station. So it's very near, but it is aloof. So this is the temple. This is a beautiful, it's very, very small, compact temple, but very rich temple. It has got a small courtyard and a pushkarani. This is how it looks from front. One of the lesser visited temples very near to bus stand. It was earlier maintained by HR&C. Thank God now ASI is taken over the maintenance and ASI office is here, right next to the temple complex. Now, let us see one by one the religious and ceremonial view. In terms of primary thing, the god is Vaikuntha Perumal and consort is Anandavalli Thayar. This is the main sanctum where he is in a sitting pose and this is the Utsavamurti. Of course, there are a lot of Parivara Devatas. Since it is a very old temple, beyond 10th century and others, the separation of Andal and Lakshmi as two separate sanctums on the right and left, this kind of concepts came after 10th century only. So there is no Andal or Lakshmi. So here, interestingly, in the Mahamandapa, we have two things. One, two corner rooms are there. Okay, one is dedicated to Lakshmi Devi, and the other is dedicated to the Shakti Devi, the power generator for this. So there is no Andal, there is only power generator on the left side. We have a people tree or Arasamaram, and on top of it, there are a lot of discarded Vishnu and others, and they have become the regional deities. In terms of Puranic stories, this in olden days it was called Vidarbhadesa, ruled by Virochana. He didn't have any children. He prayed in Kailasanatha temple, which is a smaller temple, not this big one. And Shiva gave that Dwarapalas of Vishnu, the Jaya Vijaya will be born in, and then they were named as Pallavan and Vallavan. And then they conducted Ashwamedha, and then they ruled it very well. And during their Ashwamedha Yagna, Vishnu gave him, Vaikuntha Vishnu gave him his sitting pose, like how he is ruling in the Vaikuntha Vishnu pose. So, this is the Paramapada Seva, so that's why it is called the Vaikuntha Perumal temple. But in inscription, this is called as Paramechara Vindagaram, primarily because it was sung like this by Alvar, and then inscription follows that method. In terms of Talapuranas, this is only Kanchipuram, only shrine in Kanchipuram which maintains its originality. Almost all of them have been reworked. Kanchipuram Kamakshi temple is a modern tiles, plastic tiles kind of a temple, or almost like concrete. And Ekampureshwar, it has gone through many renovation and structures. Whereas, except this, the outer work which has been done during Vijayanagara, the core inner temple has not been touched predominantly, and it stays as it is, how it was in the 8th century, with the minimal damage. It has been done Mangala Sasanam by Tirumangalvar in Periya Tirumudi 2.9, and this was the royal shrine during the Nandivarma II, who built this shrine in the 8th century. Now, that royal thing is gone. Now it is, his major compartment has been occupied by a mosque at a later point of time, where Kanjipuram was a major dispute between Muslims and Muslim Arcad Nawab and the Britishers. Britishers were in Varadaraja temple, and Arcad Nawab was in Ekampureshwar and here. So at the time, a mosque has been done. So it peacefully coexists. And this, interestingly, this Pushkarini is being shared. You can see two steps to the Pushkarini. One for washing the sins of Hindus, and another one washing the sins of Muslims. Tala Vriksham. Beautiful vrikshams are there, and this is the Tala Vriksham. And again, we saw the other side of the picture where the Nagas and others are being worshipped. And this is where rarely Ashoka trees we are able to see. Normally, Ashoka trees are not planted in temples inside, and we see Ashoka tree inside. This is the Pushkarni I was talking about. I had taken it in the dry state. So this is the entrance for the Hindus. On the left hand side, there is an entrance for Muslims who wash their legs and other things before going to the prayer. So you can see one entrance and two temples. The next one, in terms of special rituals. In a Vishnu temple, Vaikuntha Ekadasi is the grand one. The last one was on January 10th. Huge crowd would have been there. So every day verses from Narayana Divya Prabandham, the 4,000 verses praising in Tamil, the Lord Vishnu. This was sung by the Vaishnava poets. So this will be sung on every day by the priest with accompaniment of music. As I said earlier, this temple is a special temple. It is an apartment of God. But normally, only ground floor you are given the darshan, and you don't get darshan for the first floor, which is available only on Ekadasi day, and that too in the morning. So if you want, you can try it in the next Ekadasi, that is on 27th January, 25th January, where there will be a huge crowd. In terms of local festival, the Vaikasi Brahmotsavam around May, June is a major temple where the renovation, painting, and other work happens. It uses Tenkalai, Vaikanasa Agama, and then 7:30 to 12 noon, and then 4:30 to 7:30. This temple is very famous, and then it has been sung by Periyalvar in his Pattu Pattu, and this is how he has sung in Periya Tirumuli, Irandam Pattu. So here he talks about Pallavan Paninda Parameshwara. So everybody, the the great Pallava king who worshipped the Parameshwara Pindagaram. So the all the 10 stanzas ends with Parameshwara Vinnagaram Adive, which means that this is the famous Parameshwara temple. Vinnagaram means a temple which goes up to the sky. Pandyanai வென்ற Pallavan. This is the Pallava who won the Pandyas. And the next stanzas talks about this is the temple where Vishnu is sleeping on a bed of snake. This is the place where the god who ate the entire world in one swallow, the Krishna Avatara. Then it has got a lot of songs. Tennavane Vendra Padinda Koil, because all the Tennavan means Pandyan. And then Pallavar Kon Padinda. The Pallavas worshipped this temple very much. And then Karur, Cheras. So the Pallavan has one Cheras, and then such Pallava was worshipping in this temple. And then Nenmeli Vendra Pallava. This is victory of the Cholas. Similarly, this is where he victored 7 bulls, and then he finally says that whoever is reading it will get the blessing of Lakshmi. So, Periyalvar has sung around 10 songs, and Periyalvar is a contemporary and seems to be knowing the king Nandivarma in person. So, this is what So this is how it is sung with emotion and with the style. So this covers the first half of the religious and ceremonial view. Now we are coming to the next part of the art and architectural view. So let us see who are the sponsor kings. Pallava is said to be, this was built by Pallavas, and then Pallavas is said to be having three segmental lineage. One, the historical lineage from Brahma and then Drona, Ashwatthama, and from Ashwatthama, Pallava, and Ashoka. One is the Puranic, and the early up to 4th century, this is the lineage, Skandavarma, Sivarma. So what we know as the most documented earliest king is Simhavarma III. From Simhavarma III, there is a two branch, Simha Vishnu Mahendravarma, the famous Narasimhavarma, who went to Vadabi, and then Parameshwarma, Narasimhavarma II, who is known as Rajasimha, and then the branch switches off. So, Mahendravarma dies, and then there is no clean inheritance. So, what they do is the parallel 7 generation siblings, they track and then they take Nandivarma 3 from that segment. So, this inscriptions show the lineage in detail. This is the Kasugudi and other inscriptions and the Velur Palayam plates. And interestingly, this history of Pallavas is printed in panels from all the way from Brahma up to Nandivarma coronation in this temple. We will see it later. Nandivarma is a great warrior, and then he was coronated at the young age, probably around 16. He had a tough time establishing his thing and then ruled for 65 years. And then he was continuously fighting with Western Chalukya, Rashtrakuta, and Pandyas. Okay, and then there were ups and downs. Vikramaditya came and seized. This one Kirtivarma did seize Kanchi, and then again he recovered with the help of Tantiturka, and he got stuck in Chola region, and his general Uday Sharma defeated and recovered him. So, a turbulent but surviving. On top of all these things, he built several beautiful temples, and the unique temple is this. This is the layout of the temple. Even though it is small, it has got so many features. We enter with the Gopuram, and then Dwajastambha Balipita, and then you have the Garuda Mandapa, and you have a small festival Mandapam, and then you have a Maha Mandapam. So here, this is what I was saying. One is Taya Sannidhi, other one is Shakti Sannidhi, where a power generator is being kept. And then you have the perambulatory passage, and then you have a moat. So this is resembling Parkadal or a sea of milk. So around the temple, there is a water body covering this, and there is a pathway away from the water body. In olden times, they might have stored water in this water body with the draining facility. So even now, if it rains, some water accumulates. And then this is the Artha Mandapa, and then this is the sanctum, which is of 3 tiers. So you can see the cutting and tiers. We will go into detail little later. When we see in this, what we see is a Gopuram, but it is only the base. They have completed it up to the base, and after that they left it. It is probably a later Nayaka period effort. In many areas like this, Gopurams are built and left at the Kalkaram level. Similarly, we see in Manipaka, Manimangalam, and Mallai also. Once you cross this, we see the Dvajastambha. This is from front view, that is from back view. Balipidam. See the ornamental structure and the Shankar Chakra there. And this is how it looks like, the mandapa, the front mandapa, Rajastambam. And this is the view from top. You can see the mode, you can see the Prakara wall, the main temple, first floor, ground floor, first floor, second floor, like that. So coming to the mandapas, this is the first level mandapa, which was done at a later Nayaka period. It is fairly simple. See the distance between the pillars. This is very old type, very, very flat and no ornamental stuff. Okay. And this is also having the Garuda shrine. This is Mahendra pillars. So it might have been uh, constructed at a very, very, very late period. Now we go into the first mandapa. This is how it looks like. This is completely covered, and the east and west have two cells. Left side, no idol. We have a storeroom. On right side and south corner, we have the Vaikuntha Valli Tayar. This is the Lakshmi sitting on the right corner, power center sitting on the left corner as a generator. So at the time there is no andal. After this, you cross into through this gate into the main entrance. And then we have the sitting lions. We cross them out with a small bridge, this bridge, and you go to the main sanctum and you see this. So this area, beyond this, photography is not allowed inside the thing. So you have around 8 Yali pillars, and then there are no concerts like in the earlier temple up to 10, even in Shiva and Vishnu temples, there are no concerts. So it is assumed to be with this one. And then only in Uchamurti you will have concerts. The Taya Sannidhi, you saw it earlier on the north side of the temple. So up to this is some modification at the later period, but once you cross this, this is pristine. How it was there in 8th century, it is available as it is. And this is the way it goes in. I'm sorry, I clicked the wrong one. Now, having entered it, we are seeing the Vimana part now. This is the architectural wonder. This is how the Vimana looks like. This is a Ashtanga Vimana. This is as per the Vaikhanasa Agamas, Agama Vidhis, they allow temples of this format where 3 sanctums is possible in 3 tiers, or 3 plus another 3 on the outer side of the ground floor and another 3 on the outer side of the first floor. So it can be 4, 7 or 9 kind of calculations. So this is a 40 feet, 60 feet kind of Vimana with the 3 levels of sanctums. And since it is a very, very small one, you can't view the Vimana from inside. It is very tough because it's very, very small and we have a moat around it. So architecturally, this is what is most complex thing. The first inner wall encloses the 3 shrines, the one where Vishnu is in sitting form. The second one is the reclining pose. So on top of it, if you continue, you go to the second one where Vishnu is there in the reclining pose. And the third level is the Vishnu in standing pose. So this is the core sanctum. On top of it, logically, there will be the 4th level where there is a walking Vishnu, Nadandam. That is empty now and it has been dummied. and on top of it you have the octagonal shikara. So this is the core pillar, which is the central shaft, the primary temple. Around this, there is a second wall of enclosure, which contains the prakara for shrine 1 and shrine 2 and carries up to form the open platform around the shrine 3. So this is where the prakaram or the inner sanctum prakaram is there. Around that, there is a third level of enclosure, which is the prakaram of shrine 1, and then you have a stair, and then in shrine 2, it becomes an open platform. So this is where the stairs are set up. This is where the stairs are set up, where you go into the first level, and then from there you put a ladder and go to the third level. This is how it looks when you actually see it, not in picture, in reality from a. So the enclosed pillar, prakara with light pillars and historical panels are there. Outer walls, these outer walls contain Bhagavad Purana related sculptures. Level 1 sanctum, you have the god sitting in asana pose. Then in level 2, you have a sayana pose inside of there. In level 3, what you see here is the Sthanika pose, standing. And there is one level 4 here which has been dummied, which he should be logically in standing pose, and we have superstructure Shikara. So this is how it looks in real life. When we saw it from a cut view on how this temple is structured. Now we are seeing it from a ground plan view on how this temple is architectured. The first inner wall encloses the 3 shrines right up to the ceiling of the 3 shrines. So this is the core temple plan, and then around it you can see the stairs. Okay, so this is the walkway and the prakara where you can do a circumambulatory passage. So this forms the second shrine and carried up, and this serves, the green one serves as an open platform around the shrine 2. For shrine 1, this is the prakara, and for shrine 2, this is the open platform. Now there is one more layer. You have a open moat, 3 feet deep, which covers the Vimana, and normally it will be filled, and there are connection between these bridges. And around this, you have a pillared Pradakshina Patha, where you have pillars on the inside and then sculpture panels on the outside, which extends all the way up to sun. So what we are seeing here is the Ardha Mandapa, and there is a water connection under the Ardha Mandapa, and then you have a pillar also, you have a bridge in this area. So this is what is the view when you expand it from floor to floor to floor to floor. Now we are going one by one. We are going to the first sanctum. This is how the deity looks. Four-armed Vishnu in asana pose. There is a narrow circumambulatory passage, and then on the back side, when you see from south side goes it upstairs, and then from north side you go to the second level sanctum, and then come back by the same stairs. So outer there is an open prakara. This is how the passage looks. This is how you climb, and this is the way back, and there is a Vaikuntha Vishnu pose, beautiful sculpture there, and this is the Vaikuntha Vishnu pose. And then there are a lot of Sudev poses here. This is the entrance to the first floor sleeping Sayana Vishnu temple. And this is the old picture of the Sayana Vishnu. So it goes, once you come out of the sanctum, we have Lakshmi and Bhudevi here, and then circumambulatory passage is there outside, where there is a access passage to the downstairs, and then this area is accessed only during Ekadasi days. And this is a group photo when they are on THT site seminar with the proper permission. The entire group was there. Now all of them are stalwarts, and then they do their own presentations, and then everybody has learned a lot from this tour. And this is what the smaller mini Vimanas, which you can see this. This is your central Panjara Vimana, and then this is your Sala Vimana, and then this is your Kuta Vimana, and all of them in one from the angle. So this is the rectangular Sala, and then corner Kuta, and then the middle Panjara. You can see the Panjara shape here on the front arch and the back apsidal. And this is the standing pose, which is available in one of the sculptures, historical sculptures. This is supposed to be there on the fourth floor, and third floor. It is not there. It is a blank. The ideal is missing, and this is something people say that this is something similar to one more image that is available in the ground floor. Here, public are not allowed. And beyond that, you see the Shikara, where you have one more opening here, and that has been closed. So it might be a non-model code. This is with 4 sanctums. Okay. So Nindran, Kidandan, Amarndan, Nadandan. So this might be for the walking. So this might be dummied with a secret which is similar to the Chidambaram secret. The Chidambaram secret is there. Once you see it, there is nothing inside. Similarly, we might be having nothing inside. So it is the Kanchi Ragasya. Beyond that, you have the octagonal Shikara with the standard Garudas and other things. The 1907 diagram talks about rearing lions in the Griva portion, now which has been replaced by Garudas in stuccos. So they might have done it in 1930 renovations. So this is in terms of the Vimana, in terms of the architecture, one of the best temple in terms of Ashtangam. Now coming to sculptures. This is equally rich in sculptures. This is how the temple looks from side when you see it from the mount. So you can see the water collection, and then in olden days there might have been water there up to this level. So there are a lot of sculptures here: Vamana, Trivikrama, Narasimha, Kaliyamartana, Naranarayana, Adishesha, Gajendra, all are good. In addition, this is the way to go into the back entry. It's a low level moat. And on the east side, the entry is to the sanctum. The west side, the entry is to the back side, and it goes via stairs to the upper floors. So this lion capitals, interestingly, here is the bridge on the front east side, where there is a bridge connecting the main temple and over the moat to the prakaras. So the people say that there is a tunnel from here to Mahabalipuram. So if you find this, then we can reduce the travel time to Mahabalipuram to half an hour. So when British came to know this, they wanted to explore, and then people say that the temple devotees have closed it and put a bridge on top of it. This is one of the stories circulating around. What is interesting here is there is a huge collection of sculptures, but many of them are made of sandstones and they have been damaged heavily. So, this has been interpreted by multiple people in multiple ways. Some say that it is from Bhagavata, and then some say that it is from different Vishnu Puranas. So, there is a mapping of this in one of the popular books, identifying the various Vishnu forms. So, some of them are here. Scenes depicting Bhagavata Purana and chapters 1 to 6 and 11 to 12, Surya flying over the candid, Kalki above Maru, and then the Kalki above Devapi in lunar industry, Bhagavan and Loka, like that. Lot of sequencing is done here. You can see the Kalki here. And then again, this is the back door where you are entering. So there are nice openings on each one, nice princes and then Dwarapalas. This is interesting. So this is where a variation of the Rajasimha period rearing lines. Now the Pallava has stabilized. So there is no longer at war. They are happy. So it is being depicted by probably by a sitting lion. This style is slightly different from the Rajasimha and the Narasimha styles. And it is beautiful corridor where you have raised pillars, 24 sitting lines on four sides, and inside you can see the cartoon comic like strips which depicts the history of Pallavas. So this is on the ground floor. Now when we come to the first floor, when you enter the first floor, you will be coming via like this, and then once you go do the darshan, you start from here. Like that, there is a collection of historical things from Bhagavad Purana and the Mahabharata and other things. And here, this is from the Krishna Leela and other details on the other side. So you can see it in some, see this is Trivikrama, and then Anatasena, and then Narasimha, and then this is Balarama. Like that, there is a lot of sculptures. Coming to the paintings, we don't have any. Mostly this is sculptures and other things. Coming to inscription, normally inscriptions are used as a form of written record. Okay, but here they have gone to the next level. They have put the entire story as comic strip kind of pictures representing the key happenings that has happened from Brahma, the original Brahma, all the way up to the Narasimha Nandi Varmatri coronation and his deeds. So this is done in a structured way. You have two rows and the horizontal band in the middle for writing the titles or the description. So they have started writing in many of the key things, but many are blank. So you need to read like this. You need to cover this entire one first to go to the end, again come back and start from here and then do this. So this is full of it. So people are scratching. how to find where it starts, what is the sequence, left to right to left, or it is random. So Dr. Meenakshi, who was working under the great Chola historian Neelakanta Sastri, she took it as a passion and then he unscrambled the story and she has done a beautiful book of Vaikuntha Perumal sculptures. So this details for each panel, 2-3 pages in detail on what it describes and why she has come to the deductions and what is the underlying basis for this. So the sequence starts from the west wall on the north side and then goes around. And these are all some of the scenes where so this is where the standing Vishnu, which is depicted on this. This is your Nandi Varma and his crown elephant is coming here. And Nandi Varma, so this is a replica of the temple he has built, and war scenes like that. There is story sequencing beautifully done. Each coronation is described in detail. Like that. Here is an interesting thing. This is the end of the first part where after Mahendra 3, there is a blank space here where it the original dynasty ends. There is a dead end. So they have indicated it by a blank space, and then from here the hunt for an alternative king continues. For 1.5 wall, they hunt, they go to Kambojam and finally identify Nandi Verma, and then he comes back crossing mountain and other things. But interestingly, people say that he is from Cambodia. But in this graphic presentation, there is no depiction of sea or sea travel. They talk about mountains, they talk about forest and other things. There is no graphic depiction of any sea travel. So they have a profession saying that the Cambodia may be near Bihar, beyond Orissa. So this is the king general bringing a war trophy, the temple itself, and then here is an interesting figure. So the king is there, and then there is a fight going on, and there is a foreign figure coming here and this is Yuan Shuang. Yuan Shuang's visit is also depicted here. In terms of inscriptions, bulk of the inscriptions are from Nandi Varma II from 751, and then he has given a golden bowl and then image to the temple. Pallava Malla gave a gift, and then Dantivarma, his son, give a golden bowl weighing 10,000 kalanji. A kalanji may be around 10 grams, 15 grams. So imagine the weight of the bowl and the cost. And then later on, during Kulothunga one period, we find a lot of interesting sculptures, interesting inscriptions here depicting 46th year of Kulothunga. So it is in very, very late period. And then they are giving land for feeding of Sri Vaishnavas. So with this, we cover the analysis of a fantastic temple. A temple rich in rituals, a temple which is one of the 108 Vaishnava Stalas, and then a temple which has not been touched since 7th century, 8th century, and it is one of the unique three-story, three-sanctum Chinna Vimana. The interesting part is the path for the sanctum also goes inside the Vimana, and then the load has to be structured in such a way that it handles the entire weight. The other interesting feature about this is the one of the kind historical panels which are depicting the history of Pallavas, from olden times till the Nandivarma times. So this is one of the ultimate temples. Sadly, not much crowd. In a regular days, 50 people, 20 people come. And on Ekadasi days, there is some more crowd. Otherwise, you go there randomly, you won't find anybody in the temple. So please explain and share and spread and make this one of the most visited temples. When we talk about Ashtanga Vimanas, the apartment of gods, this is not the first one. In Mahabalipuram, there is a similar three-story sanctum, but in rock as a monolithic one, which was done for Shiva. But it is not in worship and it is not complete. So this is the first complete Vimana for Vishnu in worship and it still continues to be in worship. Then later on, Dantivarma and then Nandivarma IV period, they built one more similar one in Uttarameru, where instead of having just three, they added three more on ground floor and three more on first floor. So you have 9 sanctums in the entire complex, 9 Vishnu avatars. Like this, in Pandya country also, there are several temples which has been done in the same model, like Kanchipuram, Vaikuntha, where the difference is, later period they couldn't do the complex job of having the stairs inside the Vimana, so they took the easy way out. So what they do is, they dummied it and then only the Sandara passage is there and the access is from a side from the front mandapa. So it is not from inside the Vimana, it is from the front mandapa. So it reduces a lot of complexity. So this is one near Tirukostiyur Swaminarayan temple. This is where Nammalvar, the famous Vaishnava saint, he climbed up the top and pronounced the Namo Narayana mantram from here. This is the famous Tirukostiyur temple. This is also an Ashtanga Vimana. Then we have in Madurai one more, the Kodalalagar, where you climb to the first floor from the Mahamandapa and second floor, the second floor, you climb it through the side doors available here. And there is one more in Mannarkoil. Now this is old white photograph. Now it is colorful and renovated and beautiful. So you climb on the side, go to the first floor, and then you visit. And from there, through the side, you climb onto the second floor sanctum. And then there is a wooden mandapa on top of, in front of the second floor mandapa. Similarly, we have one more temple, Cheran Mahadevi, the Ramasamy temple. There is also a side stair climbing one. And then in Chennai, we have in Tirunirmalai, we have a similar one where we have 4. Nindan, Amardan, Kedandan, Nadandan. But the Nadandan part is in a different temple. But here the challenge is they are not on straight line. They are in a slightly different angle, different alignments. Kanchi Periyava, the sage of Kanchi, asked the trust to build a temple for Lakshmi on the lines of the Uttarameru Sundaravardha temple. And in Chennai, Besant Nagar, there is a Ashtalakshmi temple available in Besant Nagar, beautiful on the same design. Out of the 9 sanctums, the central sanctum is Vishnu, and the rest 8 sanctums, 4 plus 4, are for Ashtalakshmis. So with this, we conclude today's presentation on yet another L-cart, the Vaikuntha Perumal temple. So next month around 20th, the same time, we will be following the third L-cart temple. Thank you for the continued support. The first one scored fairly good visibility and value. Thanks to Government of India Tourism, South Indian Regional Director for making this an excellent program with a sustained follow. If you need any similar videos, you can see them in my YouTube channel, Babu for Heritage. So thank you for enjoying this show for around 1 hour exactly, and hope the people who have attended and seen this, the tour guides, the tour operators, the policymakers, and the devotees, understand the beauty of such temples and then bring more people to this to sustain these temples in a better way. Thank you all. Looking forward to one more session from you at a later point of time. Bye.